Hello and welcome everybody. Are you guys tired of seeing me yet? I probably should have told you guys I'm doing this thing for the channel where for the next 12 days leading up to Christmas, I post a video every single day. So that's why you guys are seeing my face a lot. So I hope you guys don't hate it yet. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about 6 series that I really would like to read next year. Now I know I did my video where I was like, oh, did I read those series I wanted to read in 2023? Well, there are still other series that I would like to read in 2024. So one of those series does appear on this list because it is a priority for me. But anyways, let's just go ahead and let's just jump into the series that I would like to prioritize for next year. And then at the end of next year, we will see if I followed through with that. Because why not, right? Let's see if I can hold myself accountable. So we're going to start with the very first series, which is going to be a carryover from something I was supposed to have read in 2023, but I didn't. And that is this bad boy, The Faithful and the Fallen. Yes, we are going to try once again. This will be the 3rd year in a row, honestly, that I prioritize this series. I'm at the point where I'm pretty sure I am finally ready to dive into this bad boy, and I don't want to put it off anymore. It's kind of like getting to me that I haven't read it yet. So definitely going to be prioritizing this one. Let's all keep our fingers crossed that I actually do. And then following that, I do read The Faithful and the Fallen. This series is going to depend on if I read The Faithful and the Fallen, because I would like to move on to the sequel series of Blood and Bone. Yes, I own all of these John Gwen books, and I've only read his Bloodsworn saga, which I love, by the way. So if I read Faithful and the Fallen, I would love to continue on and finish this and just have all of my Gwen backlog finally read, so I can be like, yes, guys, I know what you're all talking about. A fantastic series. The next series after that is actually one that I, for the longest time, was kind of like, I don't know if I want to read it. I don't know. Yes, no, yes, no. Then I kind of heard some things about it where I was like, you know what? I'm interested. I want to see how this is pulled off. And that is the Powder Mage trilogy. Now, I do have the hardbacks from Broken Binding. At least I have the first 2. I haven't got my 3rd one in yet. So that's why I just pulled out this lovely paperback that I bought literally like a month before I knew I was getting the Broken Binding ones. So yeah, I would like to prioritize this series because, like I said, I was kind of like on the fence about ever reading it to begin with, because I'm not really into the whole gunpowder fantasy. I think it's called gun. Is that what it's called? Gunpowder fantasy? Like in general. I'm not really too much into that. I do like the whole swords and bow and arrows, axes, and I like the more medieval kind of things. But I did hear how the magic system is kind of intriguing in this, and so it has caught my eye. And I do want to try prioritizing reading some of the books that I get in from my book boxes, and considering this is a book box because I have the Broken Binding editions, I would like to try and prioritize this. Plus, like I said, my interest has been piqued after I kind of learned a little bit more about the magic system, and I'm kind of like, I want to see how that's pulled off. After that, we have a series that I have owned for a very long time. I want to say close to 6 or 7 years now, and I spent a long time finding books 2 and 3 of this trilogy, and that would be the King Raven trilogy by Stephen R. Lawhead. So we have Hood, Scarlet, is that one 3? No, that's 2, okay. And then Tuck. So this is a Robin Hood retelling. Next to King Arthur, I love the tale of Robin Hood. And there's not many Robin Hood retellings that I've come across that have really caught my eye. I've come across a lot of gender bent Robin Hood stories, and I don't like those. So, you know, when I found out Stephen, our lawhead, had did a Robin Hood one, because I have his King Arthur set, I was like, I have to have that series. And I spent months looking for these two. This one was so easy to find, but these two in this exact copy took me months to find. And then when I finally found it, I was like, oh, I could finally read it. And they have sat on my shelf since then. They have just sat there. And I think it is finally time that I read a Robin Hood retelling. And I am really hoping that this one is going to be super, super good. Like I said, I have familiarity with Lawhead's writing. While I have not finished reading his entire King Arthur series, because for the longest time I only owned the first 2 books, I do have a feeling that I will like this, as long as it doesn't, I don't know where I was going with that sentence, because I'm like, if it doesn't stray too far, but I'm like, I want him to also bring in like his own to the story. So I guess we'll see what he does. I just really hope that whatever he does decide to do, I end up liking. And if you guys know of any Robin Hood retellings where Robin is still a guy and not a girl, please let me know. Drop a comment below. Help a girl out. Next one is actually one that I got interested in, I want to say about 2 years ago, but I was trying to find specific covers because I'm a cover girl, so I like particular covers. But then they released these new bad boys, and I was like, I'll just get those because that's at least easier. And that would be this series. I'm holding it upside down. I'm so good at this, guys. These books are so heavy. The Elric of Melniboné. Is that how we're saying that? For the longest time, I was saying Melnibone. And then I heard other people say Melniboné, and I was like, I bet you it's that. I bet you that's how it's said, and I was saying it wrong this whole time. So the Elric series, I would really like to dive into this one. It does seem a little bit daunting, but each of these books has multiple books inside of them, so it doesn't actually feel as daunting. But when you look at it, you're like, that's a lot. Those are big books. But that's just how it is. But I will show you guys. So there is the cover of the first one. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the artist Brom. He wrote the books Krampus and that Child Thief, the Peter Pan one. Yeah, this is the same artist. Because my little sister loves this artist. And so when I saw that, I was like, that's Brom. And I remember teasing her about it. I was just like, I have a book with Brom's art on it. And she was like, And so the next one we have is the Stormbringer. So volume 2. Awesome. This one, the cover artist for this one is Michael Whelan, a very well-known fantasy cover artist that he does such amazing work. I really like Michael Whelan stuff too. And then we have the final volume, which is the White Wolf. And this is one of the, this cover art was actually the volumes that I was initially looking for that are done by Robert Gould. So I couldn't find them, obviously. All of you people who do have those ones, I'm jealous of you, just so you know, okay? But I was like, you know what? At least I get this one. I get this one at least. Because there's something about this art style that I'm in love with it. So yes, the Elric series, I would really like to tackle that one next year. It just sounds kind of interesting, honestly. It was just one of those ones where I randomly came across it on the internet, on Goodreads one day a couple years back, and I was like, I'm so interested because these covers are beautiful. So anyways, moving on now. The last series on this list is actually one that I initially knew about this series. But I had ended up picking up a follow-up series for it that I didn't realize was a follow-up until after I bought it. But the Dragonbone Chair, or is it called Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn? Or is that a different series? I don't know. I'm so good at this, guys. I'm such a good booktuber. But the Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams. So first of all, I just want to say the fact that I found these editions, these are the editions I was looking for, and I found them at Half Price Books for it was like 5, 6, 7. Like each one was like $1 more. And I was like, I'm not leaving without those bad boys. Because I love these cover arts for these ones. I just think they're beautiful. And they already came in the sleeves, you guys. Like, oh, I found such a great deal on these. And I was like, I'm going to read these. I'm going to read them. And I didn't get to them this year. But I would very much like to get to them next year. Because, like I said, I have that follow-up series, The King of Austin Ard, where I found out you probably don't want to read it unless you've read this series. So I was like, you're telling me I bought a series that I can't even read yet? Literally. So, then I spent a long time trying to find the exact versions that I wanted, and I got so lucky. You guys don't even know how happy I am to own these exact editions. But yes, I would like to dive into this series. It's one of those like old fantasy series that I'm just like, I'm more than likely going to enjoy the crap out of that. So definitely looking forward to that one. But yeah, these are the series that I would like to try and prioritize for next year to get into and read and finally knock them off of my backlog. So we will see at the end of 2024 if I actually followed through and read the books from this video. That is the year challenge. If I can actually do an update video and say, I read them. So if you guys have read any of these, let me know your thoughts and opinions on them. And like, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.